At Columbia University Medical Center, Dr. Viktor Kovalenko was denied access to the operating room due to his accent while a dying patient lay before him. Viktor calmly said, "I've performed 3,847 cardiac surgeries. This patient has 4 minutes. Your choice." Dr. Viktor Kovalenko, 48, Ukrainian combat surgeon, now Columbia's cardiothoracic chief surgeon. Dr. Jennifer Hayes, 34, ER supervising physician. Patient, Michael Rodriguez, 52, massive heart attack. Victor entered the ER during his off-duty evening walk when he heard a code blue announcement. "I'm Dr. Kovalenko, cardiothoracic surgery." "What's the situation?" Victor asked, entering the trauma bay. Jennifer looked up from the coding patient, immediately noticing Victor's Ukrainian accent and unfamiliar face. "Who authorized you in this ER?" Jennifer demanded, continuing chest compressions. "I'm an attending surgeon here. This patient needs immediate intervention. I don't recognize you and your accent. Are you even licensed in New York?" The monitor showed VFIB. Michael had minutes. "Licensed and board certified. Let me assess the patient." Jennifer blocked his approach. "Hospital policy requires credential verification for unknown physicians. Security." "This patient is dying," Victor said firmly. "Check my hospital ID." Jennifer glanced at his Columbia badge but remained skeptical. "Foreign doctors sometimes have fake credentials. I need verification from administration. There's no time for bureaucracy. He needs emergency thoracotomy." "Thoracotomy?" Jennifer's eyes widened. "That's an extremely advanced procedure. I'm not letting an unverified foreign physician perform open chest surgery." Victor remained calm despite the ticking clock. "I've performed this procedure 847 times. His cardiac output is failing." 847 times? Jennifer scoffed. "That's impossible. Even experienced surgeons don't have those numbers." The monitor alarm intensified. Michael's vitals were crashing. "Where did you train?" Jennifer asked, still blocking access. "Kiev Medical University, fellowship at Johns Hopkins, 12 years at Columbia." "Ukrainian medical schools aren't equivalent to American standards," Jennifer stated dismissively. "And Hopkins fellowship doesn't mean you're qualified for our ER protocols." This was dangerous bias. Ukrainian medical education was rigorous, and Hopkins was world-class. "I'm the chief of cardiothoracic surgery at this hospital," Victor said quietly. Jennifer laughed. "The chief?" "Our chief is Dr. Richardson, and he definitely doesn't have a Ukrainian accent. Dr. Richardson retired 3 months ago. I replaced him. I would have heard about a foreign doctor becoming department chief." The crash cart team looked uncertain, caught between two physicians arguing while their patient died. "We need to analyze our audience. If you could tell us where you watched our video in the comments section and also hit the like button, that would make us very happy." "Assistole," a nurse called out. Michael's heart had stopped completely. Victor moved forward. "He needs immediate pericardiocentesis or thoracotomy." "Now," Jennifer pushed him back. "Touch this patient and I'll have your medical license revoked, if it's even real." "Then you perform it," Victor challenged. Jennifer hesitated. She'd never done an emergency thoracotomy. It was a specialized procedure requiring years of surgical training. "We'll transport to the OR," she decided. "He'll be dead before the elevator arrives," Victor countered. "Bedside thoracotomy is his only chance. I'm not authorizing an unverified foreign physician to crack open a patient's chest in my ER." Victor's voice remained steady. "I've performed 3,847 cardiac surgeries. This patient has 4 minutes. Your choice." A senior nurse, Maria Chen, who'd worked at Columbia for 23 years, finally spoke up. "Dr. Hayes, that's Dr. Kovalenko. He's our new cardiothoracic chief. I've assisted him in dozens of surgeries." Jennifer's confidence wavered. "Why wasn't I informed about a new chief?" "The announcement went out 3 weeks ago," Maria said urgently. "But this patient can't wait for you to check your emails." Jennifer looked at the flat-lined monitor, then at Victor. "If you're wrong about him, you'll lose your nursing license," Jennifer warned Maria. "I'm not wrong. Let him work." Victor didn't wait for further permission. He snapped on gloves and grabbed a thoracotomy tray. "Betadine scalpel rib spreader. Maria, you're assisting." His hands moved with practiced precision. 15 years of combat surgery and 12 years at Columbia had made these movements automatic. Jennifer watched in stunned silence as Victor performed a perfect bedside thoracotomy, opening Michael's chest in under 90 seconds. Cardiac tamponade, as I suspected. Pericardial rupture from the MY. Victor's hands worked inside Michael's chest with impossible delicacy and speed, evacuating blood from the pericardial sac, repairing the rupture. Internal defibrillation, charged to 20 joules. He placed the paddles directly on Michael's heart. The shock delivered. Nothing. Again, 30 joules. Shock. A weak flutter appeared on the monitor. Sinus rhythm returning, Maria announced. Victor continued working, ensuring the repair was stable, controlling bleeding, placing a temporary drain. 12 minutes after he'd entered the ER, Michael Rodriguez had a beating heart and rising blood pressure. Jennifer stood frozen, watching Victor close the thoracotomy incision with surgical precision that confirmed everything Maria had said. Arrange your transfer for definitive repair and closure, Victor instructed. He'll need CABG within 6 hours. Page Dr. Morrison from my team. Only a department chief would casually have his team and order around attending physicians. Jennifer's phone buzzed. Text from the hospital administrator. Dr. Kovalenko is in the building for board meeting. If you see him, please show every courtesy. He's our new cardiothoracic chief and a major donor. Jennifer's face went white. Dr. Kovalenko, she stammered. I didn't realize. Victor was writing post-op orders, his focus still on the patient. You didn't realize because you made assumptions based on my accent rather than verifying credentials properly. The ER attending physician, Dr. Robert Chen, rushed in after hearing about the emergency thoracotomy. Dr. Kovalenko, I heard you saved a coding patient. Thank God you were here. He turned to Jennifer with confusion. Did you page him for the consult? No, Victor replied calmly. Dr. Hayes was reluctant to allow me to treat the patient due to concerns about my foreign medical credentials. Robert's expression shifted to horror. Jennifer, please tell me you didn't prevent our cardiothoracic chief from treating a dying patient. I didn't know who he was, Jennifer defended weakly. His photo and biography were in last month's hospital newsletter. And even if you didn't recognize him, a physician offering help in a code should be welcomed, not interrogated. Victor continued his documentation. The patient is stable for now. Let's focus on his continued care. Within an hour, Columbia's chief medical officer, Dr. Patricia Morrison, arrived in the ER. Dr. Kovalenko, I understand there was an incident during your life-saving intervention this evening. A misunderstanding about credentials, Victor said diplomatically. Patricia turned to Jennifer. A misunderstanding that nearly cost a patient his life. Dr. Hayes, you prevented an attending physician from treating a coding patient based on his accent. I didn't recognize him and his foreign credentials seemed what? Patricia interrupted. Dr. Kovalenko trained at Johns Hopkins, has performed over 3,800 cardiac surgeries, published 94 peer-reviewed papers, and is internationally recognized as one of the world's leading cardiothoracic surgeons. Jennifer had no response. Furthermore, Patricia continued, he's a major donor to this hospital and serves on our board of directors. But none of that should matter. His medical license and hospital credentials were sufficient. Michael Rodriguez's wife, Carmen, was brought to the ICU after Victor's surgical team completed the definitive repair. Mrs. Rodriguez, Victor explained gently, your husband had a massive heart attack with cardiac rupture. We repaired the damage and performed bypass surgery. He's stable now. Carmen was crying with relief. They told me he was dead, that there was nothing they could do. Dr. Kovalenko performed an emergency procedure that saved his life, a nurse explained. Not many surgeons can do what he did. Thank you, Carmen sobbed. Thank you for not giving up on him. Victor stayed with the family, explaining the recovery process in detail. His bedside manner revealed years of experience with traumatized families, both in war zones and hospital ICUs. 2 weeks later, Columbia's medical board convened to review the incident. Jennifer faced potential suspension for preventing an attending physician from treating a critical patient and for discriminatory conduct based on national origin. Victor attended the hearing but surprised everyone by requesting leniency. Dr. Hayes made an error in judgment under pressure, Victor testified. But the real issue isn't one physician's mistake, it's systemic bias against foreign medical professionals. He presented data. Immigrant physicians faced longer credential verification, additional scrutiny, and assumption of incompetence despite equal or superior qualifications. I've worked at 4 major American hospitals, Victor continued. This wasn't my first experience with discrimination. It won't be my last unless we address institutional bias. The medical board implemented the Kovalenko Protocol, comprehensive bias training for all staff, standardized credential verification that didn't discriminate based on accent or origin, and clear policies protecting patients' access to qualified physicians, regardless of the doctor's background. Jennifer received a formal reprimand and mandatory training, but wasn't terminated. She later became an advocate for immigrant physician rights, using her mistake as a teaching moment. Most importantly, Victor established the International Medical Professional Support Network, providing mentorship and advocacy for foreign-trained doctors facing discrimination in American hospitals. Michael Rodriguez made a full recovery. He later learned that the foreign doctor, whose credentials were questioned, had literally saved his life with a procedure few surgeons could perform. "I don't care what accent my doctor has," Michael told reporters when the story went public. "I care that he knew exactly what to do when I was dying." Columbia University Medical Center became a national leader in inclusive medical practice, proving that the best healthcare comes from respecting all qualified professionals. Victor continued his work as chief of cardiothoracic surgery, training the next generation of surgeons, including several who came from Ukraine, fleeing war to continue saving lives in America. Sometimes the doctor you question has more expertise than everyone else in the room combined, and sometimes the accent you distrust belongs to the person who holds your life in their steady, skilled hands. Dr. Jennifer Hayes learned that in medicine, seconds matter more than accents, and assumptions can be fatal.